Hey y'all, what's up? I am so excited that you have decided to take some of your non-refundable time to spend with me and my VIP. So, hello and good evening. I have such a fabulous VIP with me on tonight. I can't help it. It's churchy. And I really hate that one of my church friends has really brought that to the forefront of my head because every single time I say that, I promise you, I cannot get his face out of my head because he teases me about me being so churchy. Nevertheless, I need for you to do me a super, super huge favor, something that I ask of you in the start or the genesis of every single show that I have. If you are listening to me via podcast, please download this and share that with somebody. Share it on your social media pages. If you are watching on the U of the Tubes or the Face of the Books, however you are watching us on, please do me a super huge favor and share. If you have not already, I need for you to smash that subscribe button and make sure you're subscribing so that you're never falling short of any of the spectacular stuff that we have going on over here. Okay. So please do me a favor. Show me that sharing is caring, and go ahead and share this with somebody. You never know what anybody is going through. So, this very well could be the show, the moment that's going to change somebody's life. Okay. So, please do me that super huge favor and share it. They may not share with you what they're going on, but whatever we're going to speak about tonight, that very well could help to shift their world. And very well, it's going to shift your world too. But share. Okay. Subscribe, share and share again. Okay. So I'm super grateful for anybody who has ever had this wonderful thing called a dream. Right. And if you have ever dreamed, I'm super grateful that you have done such a thing on that. So if you had a dream, it's time for you to make that dream come alive. Okay. So what is it that you want to do with your life? Um, don't let another day go by where you're just wanting to have a dream. And I'm like, I dream of doing this one day and I dream of doing that one day. Don't go let another day go by where you say, I want to sing, I want to dance, or I want to write, I want to be a teacher. Whatever it is that you said that you want to do, you might even say that you want to be a millionaire. Okay. So if that's what you want to do, what steps are you going to take to make that dream a reality? I hope you got some good rest, though. I'll tell you that. So, in the process of you doing this wonderful dream that you have had, I hope you got you some good rest because now it is time, like the Spike Lee movie says, to wake up. No more despair. No more heartaches. No more, I wish. None of that can exist anymore. Okay. I don't want you to should all over your life. It's time for the I wish I would have. I should have done this. All that has to cease and desist today. Okay. So I want you to put action to the plan, put action to the dream, put action to the goal, and make your dream come alive. Can you do that for me, please? And thank you. I need for you to do that. So that's going to be all that I'm going to tell you, okay? Because I can't take up all this goodness because my VIP is so spectacular. She is so stinking dope. Like, I really wish I could sing because she can. But John Legend has this song called She's So Dope. Oh my God, if you haven't heard that, like, I think he wrote that song for her. But she is so, dope. Okay, so if you haven't heard the song, you'll go get it, go listen to it, and then you'll understand what I'm making reference to. Because the lady is super dope. Okay, yes, I do listen to secular music with my churchy self. Don't look at me with that level of judgment. Okay. Nevertheless, I have a beautiful soul here on tonight, and she is musically talented. And I'm not gonna do her any justice by trying to attempt to sing. She is a leader of her praise team. I don't know if I can get her to sing tonight. I'm not going to do that to her. I'm not going to do that. But she has definitely won some awards. This lady is super fabulous. She has accolades up the yin yang. I promise you. I wonder if she's going to tell us something about that because I know she has this the Rhyme Partners Holiday Pop Up Contest. Ooh, She sings, she writes songs, she is an author. I mean, I don't think that there's nothing that she doesn't do. So at this point in time, let me bring to your forefront. I can't let you be in the background no more. Toni, come here, girl.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Can you do me a favor?
Mhm.
Tell me what you're thankful for.
Oh,
That much, huh?
so much. I'm like, can I narrow it down to one thing? What
No,
I'm
you don't have.
thankful for specifically today is that I had a peaceful and restful day. And I'm thankful for that because life has been kind of chaotic lately, where all of my worlds have been colliding, and I've been keeping it pushing, but it's been a lot, and so it was lovely to have a day today where literally all I've done today is share my heart with people and watch a sappy movie and lay on the chair with my cat. So that
Oh,
was.
that is sweet. I wonder if the cat gonna make an appearance like the cat made an appearance before.
She might. She might. She's taking a nap right now, so we'll see if she gets curious again.
Yo, your cat is comedy to me. I just want you to understand that. That was so funny. And then it was the crazy side eye that I got. And I was like, oh, really?
Side eye.
It's not your time. Hold on.
Yeah, she's definitely got a personality. My mom jokes about how we are perfect for each other. Our personalities mesh really well. We have like suffer from the same types of illnesses and different things. So, yeah, that's my girl. Like people always say they go to the shelter to rescue an animal, and she rescued me. She's been in my life for 15 years, and her name is Joy, which is
Oh,
very
wow.
apropos because that's what she brings to my life. I know that sounded really corny. I heard it when it came out, but it's true. She does bring me so much joy. Like when she jumps in front of my computer and gives what I just met the side eye. Um, that's not embarrassing at all.
Yo, I'm still not past that. I promise you. Every time I think about you or talk to you, I promise you, I am just gonna, don't get mad at me if I just happen if I on your social media I just send you a side eye of a cat. I just understand it's your cat's fault. She started
Yes,
it. Okay,
she did. She did. She started this war. She did.
it did. I'm sorry. I'm gonna finish it though. How about that? So do us a favor. Tell us all about your goodness because you write everything. Tell us about some of the wonderful things that you do.
So I am by day an educator. I'm a high school teacher,
Yeah.
but I'm also an author, and I am a singer and songwriter. And as you mentioned, praise team leader at my church. So I started off as a teenager writing poetry, and then that evolved into writing songs. And as I met more people who were able to collaborate with me, because I don't play an instrument, my instrument is my voice. So as I met more people that were I was able to collaborate with, I really got into and honed in on my skills as a songwriter. And in 2022, I released my first EP. It's called Strength to Soar. My book came out in 2005, and then I re-released it in 2015. So it's called Pray, Pray, While You're Pray, Prey. And it is my testimony about how God led me from a season of loneliness and frustration into a season of being content with what he was doing with my life and committed to following his will and his way, especially as it pertains to relationships. So that book has been wonderful for me. I still go back and have to read it sometimes for myself and have to read my devotions for myself. But the devotions are on the YouVersion Bible app. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me that are reading on the app, and they'll email me and just let me know how it's impacted their lives. Which is always, and it always comes at just the right time. Like just when I'm feeling discouraged or am I really reaching anybody, I'll usually get an email that's like, I found your devotional on Bible app, and let me tell you, I didn't know anybody else was feeling this way. And that's really my mission. Like my mission is sharing the love of Jesus with humility and shining the light of Jesus with integrity. Like that is what I want to do, bring hope and encouragement to people. So I really applaud you for what you're doing here with this podcast, to encourage people, because that is, so many people need so much encouragement and so much hope. And, it's something that's probably never going to go away, that people need that. So I applaud anyone who uses their resources and their platform to do that.
Yeah, I think that.
Hey y'all, it's Tiffany Rochelle here, and I have a few offers just for you. The first one is my book, and it's called I Choose Me. Now, I have had to fight in some type of way or another, but the best fight that I fought is the battle of me. The old me versus the emerging me. Now, the old me always threw some good punches, but the emerging me knew how to stick and move because I learned the art of endurance. I'm so much better than my past hate was and is so hard to hold on to. Choose to let love abide. Try to hold hate with love, and you tell me who is stronger. The second offer is a workbook I have called Gold Digger. Now, there are about 47 activities that we will go through so that you will be able to crush some of your goals for your life. You purchasing this book is one of the first of many steps to bettering your life. There's action plans that you can take action on, and they should be incorporated into a daily planned routine for yourself. Lastly, I have a course on forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't just a nice thing to do. It can also be a powerful tool to bring marvelous change in your life. In this course, you'll learn how to effectively use the skills of forgiveness to help you lead a more peaceful and satisfying life. You will be introduced to the basics of forgiveness, including what it is and how it can affect you. So, today, unleash the power of forgiveness to create a more meaningful life. Next, I want you to learn that it is okay for you to choose you. And lastly, develop a mindset to see and crush some of your goals. Looking so forward to growing with you. I'm excited for you and your growth. Grace and peace.
Yeah, I think that, I kid you not, when you're making reference to how some people would just send you like an email just out of the blue, and it's just like, oh wow, and it hits you right when you need it. So it happened to me like last night, and it was just like super amazing. There's actually two situations that happened. I ain't gonna go all into it because you are the grand one of tonight. But I understand how you're feeling, because it was like a review that came in, and I'm sitting here going like, you got to be kidding me. I do this to you? Like I did this to you? Like, hmm? Well, thank you, Father. That's all I could say. Seriously, I was just like in awe. I did have my teary-eyed moment. Thankfully, nobody was around. But like I really did have my teary-eyed moment. However, comma, it came at the perfect time. And it was just like one of those moments that I was grateful. And I was like, God, see, I told you that I was going to listen to you. Whatever it is, I'm going to do it scared, but I'm going to do it because you asked me to do it. So I am in the season of I got to be obedient. So I am definitely trying hard. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to, but it feels so much better when I do.
Yes.
So I get you.
Yes.
That,
And I love that. Do it scared, because that is a lot of how I live my life.
but you're doing it.
I'm gonna get into the whole anxiety part. So there's a lot of things that I have to, that I do, even though I'm
Uh,
scared.
I got you. And that play on words, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I just want you to understand that. So that pray while I pray. So, because like my faith, what? That might be it right there. We had a conversation. I said, I want to know, do I have a line that I say? Because I do say that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pray for you. But if you keep on playing with me, I might pray on you. So quit playing. Like it's the tone that changes.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. But see, that's normally when somebody's in trouble. Like that don't count. I want that empowerment speech that you know that you just gave. I want the, I'm gonna work on that. I'm just telling you that now.
You
I'm gonna work
probably
on
already have it. You just gotta think about it. You gotta
you
ask
you
your
might have
circle.
I'm gonna do that. Watch me. I'm telling you that I am. So tell me a little bit more about this pray and pray.
Pray While You Pray is a book that I wrote, like I said, in 2005. Well, I started writing in 2004. About 20 years ago, I was divorced
Okay.
at 23. And then after that, very confused about who to date and what relationships really were supposed to look like. And in that process, I did a lot of praying because I was not following God's will and God's way and how I pursued relationships. And I wanted to be in that place and in that space of where I was doing things God's way. So I was reading a lot of scriptures. I was praying, and I was just kind of journaling and writing down what God was revealing to me at that time. And I was substitute teaching, and I was in a second grade class, and their project was about animals. And in that project, they had to talk about what the different prey was of the different animals and how the different animals hunted. And so as they were talking about these different animals and I was helping them with their project, there were certain animals that I was like, that kind of sounds like this dude I know. Like,
Oh,
and his approach to dating, I'm like, oh, well, that other animal sounds like another guy I know, and how he approaches dating. And, you know, in Proverbs 18:22, it says, he who finds a wife finds a
yeah.
good thing and finds favor in the Lord. And I will admit that I spent a lot of my early 20s in my dating life doing the pursuing
Okay.
and
Okay.
not allowing young men to pursue me.
Okay.
And even when they
Okay.
did pursue me, I was like trying to run things because
Okay.
you know, when a woman does it, they call it bossy.
Uh-huh.
But I like to say that I have great leadership skills.
As you should
So,
say that. Mhm.
so
Absolutely.
I definitely was trying to kind of take over the lead role. And in this season, God revealed to me that, and it was very liberating actually, that I did not have to do that.
Okay.
That the person that he had for me was going to take the lead and was going to find me. I did
Uh-huh.
not need to find him.
Uh-huh.
But again, like I said, this was written like 20 years ago. I'm still single
Uh-huh. Me too.
because with what God revealed to me in that season and since,
Mm-hmm.
I have no desire at any point in time to settle.
Okay.
None
That's a good
whatsoever.
thing.
Like
That's a
I
good thing.
know who I am, I know whose I am. Um, there were a lot of things that I didn't realize I needed to work on with myself. That's actually one part of the book is dealing with praying for yourself. Then it's about praying for your potential mate, and then praying when you do get into a relationship, while you're in that process of dating and vetting different people, prayers that you can offer up then. So, and then the devotions are based on the scriptures that I used in the book, but they're just to encourage people along in that journey because there's so much, you know, encouragement that you need when you're navigating this here single life. I don't even want to say out in these streets because that's not where I am.
Right. Right. That's real. Thank you for that statement. That
I
you're
don't, I
on the
don't,
zone.
I don't like the streets.
Mhm.
um,
I only like to drive my car on it. That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
I people laugh at me all the time because they're like, "How are you going to meet anybody? What do you do?" And I'm like, first of all, you don't know my life, so let's back that all the way up.
Don't judge me.
You and I both mentioned all the things that I do, right? So I tell people all the time, I am very accessible. I'm probably too accessible, honestly. Like some people would probably be very paranoid to have the avenues of access to them that I have to me. But
Right.
I'm like weekly, I am broadcast
Yeah.
worshiping the Lord every
Mhm.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So anyone can watch that broadcast, even if they're not
Uh-huh.
sitting in my church, and
Uh-huh.
see me. You know, during basketball season at my school, I am the clock operator. I am literally the center of focus in that gym.
Hello.
Every single dad, single uncle, big brother, they can all see all of this. Okay. I go to the
Don't leave out the
grocery
married
store.
ones. The married ones look too.
No, we
Even though
don't,
you don't want them. We don't want them, but I'm just
no,
saying everybody can see you.
yes, everybody can see me. Like I'm
Mhm.
a very visible person. I'm very visible on social media because of the book, because of the music ministry that I do. So I'm, you know, I may not be like going out in the streets per se, and I'm definitely like, unless God gives me like a big bright neon sign that says get back on the apps, that's not my ministry.
Right.
I have
Them
tried.
apps ain't where them apps are not where it's at. I won't lie to you. Been on the apps. Don't want to get back on.
It's
Mm-mm.
it's a scary and crazy world out there on those apps.
And man.
And in person, but like at least in person, the first thing is established, which is that I know that you look like you.
No catfishing.
Right.
Right.
Like I
I
know
see it.
that, like I still might not know that you are who you said you are, but trust and
Uh-huh.
believe I have the resources to do that research.
Do it.
So
That's right.
before we ever take any step further where I'm going to be meeting with you or anything like that, that research will be done. I have too many people that are too invested in this journey, in my journey of singleness, to let me be in any kind of danger. So
You make it seem like they ready for you not to be single no more.
you know, they're ready
A little
for
bit.
whatever I'm ready for. And I would say over the last 20 years, I've been like, Lord, I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to get married over and over again. And then the last, um, probably since the beginning of this year, I've just been like, Lord, I do want to be married, but I want it your way. Like your way, your timing, your will, your person. Like I want it your way. I actually mentioned to my mom last week, I was like, it's crazy. I turned 46 last month. And I was like, it was like all of a sudden I woke up the next day and I wasn't pressed
Uh-huh.
about it anymore.
Uh-huh.
Like I felt at peace about it. So I was like, thank you, God, because that's, you know, I would tell people all the time, like 360 days out of the year, I'm fine with it. But it's some other 5, 6 days when I'm just like, Lord Jesus, why? Like, what did I
Mhm.
do? Why am I being punished? I don't understand. Like,
Oh, them
them
other
other
extra
days
days
are
because it
real
takes over.
hard.
Mhm.
Yes.
And there are only a few of them, but it
Right.
seems like the few is just always versus you don't have, like you said, you got 360 days, dum da dum da dum, rainbows and unicorns, but then them extra few days makes it seem like an eternity. Good night.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. So tell me this, not me. I want you to tell we. I'm gonna turn the me upside down. It's a we, okay? And I don't say it's backwards either. And it sounds like it says ew when I say turn the me upside down. That's what my friend says. I said turn the me upside down, and it's a we. He says no, actually, it's not a we. It's a ew. And I'm like,
Rude.
come on,
Just work with
jeez,
me here. Work with me.
work with me. But he too loves wordplay, so I get it. Nevertheless, so do me a favor. You want to you said because I asked you a question earlier, and you said I want to tell you a little bit more about anxiety in a little
Mhm.
bit. Would you be a sweetheart and tell us a little bit more about that? What would you want to leave with the world today? What is your message that you would like to share with us?
So, my message to everyone today is about how to deal with the struggle of anxiety. Okay. So imagine this. This is based on true events. Imagine you're in a relationship with someone and you and that special someone have planned to meet up with each other. You're going to meet halfway. You're in one city, they're in another city, and you're supposed to be meeting halfway to have a nice time with each other, get to know each other more, just spend some quality time. And so you're driving and you call that person to let them know what your ETA is, but you don't get an answer. You leave a voicemail. You drive a little further. You get no phone call back. You call again. There is no answer. You call the house phone. You call the cell phone. No answer. You get to your destination. You still get no answer, no text message, no voicemail, no answer. So you begin to repeatedly call the number over and over and over again because your brain is telling you this person is driving and they've been in some sort of terrible accident and they are on the side of the road. And if I just keep calling, then someone will hear their phone ring and they'll pick up and they'll know that this person is cared about. And I just have to keep calling, and I have to keep calling the house because then their roommate will answer, and the roommate will answer, and I can let them know that I'm concerned that something has gone terribly wrong because we were supposed to meet, we haven't met, and I haven't heard from this person all day. Only to have the roommate answer the house phone and say, "Stop calling. Why are you calling here so much?" That's crazy. And the next day to have the person who you were trying to reach yell at you for calling so many times and for disturbing their roommate's peace. That happened to me when I was 23 years old. Shortly after my divorce, I was entering into a relationship with another young man, and that happened. And in my mind, I thought, what's wrong with that? I'm just showing that I care about you, and I was concerned that something had happened to you. So the next week, I went to my therapist, and my therapist listened to the story, and he said, "I'm going to refer you to a psychotherapist because I believe that you have generalized anxiety disorder. And I believe that you need to talk with someone about getting on some medication." And he proceeded to ask me a series of questions to confirm his diagnosis. I went to see the psychotherapist, answered her questions. She went over my history. And that was when I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. So everyone has those moments when they worry. We get stressed out about things and we get anxiety. Something happens on our job, something happens with our finances, something happens in our relationships, and we get anxious about it because it stresses us out. But with generalized anxiety disorder, it is that on steroids.
Okay.
The thought is not, you know what, he might have just changed his mind or something came up with his family and he can no longer accommodate you. The thought is he's dead on the side of the road. And I have to figure out where he is. You know, if I call my mom and she doesn't answer, my thought is not she's somewhere where she doesn't have a signal or her phone battery died. My thought is she fell in the kitchen and hit her head. Like,
extreme.
My brain goes to extremes, to catastrophes. And it's all the time. And it's been all my life, but it didn't have a name until I was 23. So like half my life ago.
Gotcha.
Is when it finally had a name. And I went through various treatment plans. I did medication for a while. And then there was a point in time where I was studying for the bar and doing all kinds of things that were really stressing me out. So I had to go back on medication temporarily just to get through that period. When the pandemic hit, that definitely caused a lot of anxiety. My family went through a period in 2014 where my newborn baby nephew passed away.
I see. Condolences.
And during that period, anxiety really kicked in because it just felt like if something that catastrophic could happen, anything catastrophic like that could happen. And I was just fearful literally every day of my life, just trying to live. So I've had several big events that have happened that have exacerbated the anxiety, but it doesn't have to be a specific event. We talk a lot about mental illness in this country, but we don't talk a lot about mental wellness and mental health, and taking care of your mental health, and especially in the Christian community and in the Black community. Mental health is swept under the rug so many times. And I just feel like, I used to look at it as having this was a burden, but now I look at it as this is my superpower.
Sure.
Because with God's strength, I've been able to find strategies and tools that help me through it. And so why not share those with other people? Because I know when I'm in those spirals, I feel like I am absolutely isolated, alone by myself, and no one can understand what I'm going through. And that's just my mind playing a trick on me, because that's absolutely not true.
Right.
So my goal with encouraging people, my most popular song is called Don't You Worry. And it's actually a song that I wrote a couple of years after the incident that I just told in that story. And it's based on Philippians 4, 6, and 7, be anxious for nothing, which is a verse that used to torment me because I felt like I was being a bad Christian because I worried.
Wow.
And
How'd
it wasn't.
you get over that?
Say again.
How did you get over that?
Reading the word for its truth and not for what my brain lied to me that it was saying.
That's honest. That's honest. That's good stuff. That's honest.
Or what the enemy wanted to, that, and I won't even say that was my brain. That was the enemy, because the enemy has been using that trick since the beginning of time, twisting God's words.
Absolutely.
Right? That's how he got Eve.
Absolutely. Right? Just give us a little portion of some truth, and then go on and twist everything
a little bit, make you forget this other part over here. So when I read the beginning part of that verse, I always felt very convicted and even confused, because, I didn't make me, God made me, and God knew how he made me. And yet I was being told not to be anxious, but that's how the chemicals in my brain react. So it's very confusing. But if you keep reading on in that verse, it's not just about the struggle of anxiety or the sneak attack of anxiety. It's also about the solution to anxiety. Because it says, but in everything with prayer and thanksgiving, make your requests known unto God. So it's not that we're not going to worry. Everybody's going to worry. But my 3 steps for people are: listen to your anxiety. Okay. If you listen closely to it, you'll realize that anxiety is a liar.
Sure enough. That's real, though.
Like, worrying about something has never solved that problem.
That's
for
real.
me. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, worrying about it has never solved the problem. Not one time. Not one time.
Me either.
But that doesn't mean we can't listen to that anxiety. Like, listen to it. See what it's actually saying. Because if you really take the time to listen, you realize how ridiculous the things are it's coming up with. And my anxiety has never been right. That's not to say that bad things haven't happened. I've just explained something. We lived in a fallen, corrupt world. Bad things are going to happen. We live in corruptible bodies. Bad things are going to happen. But the things my brain comes up with, those things don't ever happen. And yet I get anxious again and I go down that thought spiral. And I need to sit back and remind myself, hey, the last time your brain took you on this lovely roller coaster, the things it came up with didn't happen. Right? So really listen to it. The second thing is learn from your anxiety, because our feelings are indicators. They're not truths. They are indicators. Something is going on. God gave us feelings and emotions and didn't make us robots for a reason. So that we know something is going on. And that's not just with the bad emotions, that's with the good ones too. actually take the time to sit back and notice what is actually going on. What is underneath that anxiety? Anxiety is rooted in fear. What are you really afraid of? Or if you're like me, what are you afraid of letting go of control of?
Wow. How about that? That's tough sometimes for control freaks.
Correct.
Okay. Because I like to be in control of a whole lot of stuff, or I like to at least know the direction of where we're going. So at least give me a plan. And so when you're saying that, man, okay, well, I'm going to scratch my head again.
So step 3 is limiting your anxiety. Okay. Once you understand like the underlying fears that are going on that are making you that anxious, then you can kind of address those fears with truth and reality. You can remind yourself who you are. You can remind yourself whose you are. You can stay locked in the present. Because what anxiety is trying to look further than what God showed you and not trusting that he already has that worked out. So when God has a plan, he knows the whole plan. He also knows that we would be overwhelmed if we saw everything that we had to do for the plan to work out.
Okay, come on. Come on.
So he gives us that plan in the increments that we can handle.
Okay.
And even those increments we can only handle when we're trusting him and letting him lead the way. I was very much a get ahead of God person. That's how I ended up divorced.
Mercy.
It's not a title that I like to wear, but I'm stuck with it because I tried to get ahead of God. You know, I was the concern there at 21, which was completely irrational. And I know that now, was that no one was ever going to love me or ask me to marry them. And so I had to take that proposal because
That's
that
what
was
your
the one
mind
that
was saying?
that is what my mind was saying.
Wow. Okay.
You have to marry him. If you don't, then no one else is ever going to ask you to marry them.
Wow.
And you're going to be lonely for the rest of your life. Now, somebody might be listening to it, but you are. So it was like...
The devil is a whole liar. That's right now. That's not going to be my life.
But I don't know what God has for me. I just know it's going to be so good. And I want that. And that's all I want. I don't want these little rinky-dink things that I would settle for. I want the big stuff that God has for me, the big plan, the best plan that God has for me.
Yeah. And
so I have to trust him. I like to say that trust and worry cannot coexist.
Right.
One has to beat out the other. It doesn't mean that you don't have faith in God. I mean, how many times did God say, "Oh, ye of little faith," or "Why do you have so little faith?" or "What, you need the faith the size of the mustard seed." But that's just it. You only need a little bit of faith. So yes, worry can be like pushing down that little bit of faith that you have, but you got to let that mustard seed sprout and push that worry out of the way. One of the things I love to do is go back to gratitude.
Yeah.
Like you started this off with, what are you thankful for? Gratitude has been one of the greatest tools in dealing with my anxiety. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes I start off real sarcastic with that gratitude when I'm having a thought spiral. I'm like, Lord, I'm thankful for this day. I'm thankful that I breathe in. I'm thankful that I haven't had a panic attack yet. You know, but eventually
there,
I'm
though.
like, I really get there. I'm like, you know, but really, Lord, I'm thankful that I know you got this. I know you got me. I know this is going to work out for my good and your glory. And you get there eventually. Like, thank you. Thank you for, it's hard when you have anxiety for the unknowns, but we don't have to know it all because he knows it all.
Yeah. That's a release right there.
It's freedom.
It is, because you're trying to take on, here you go, control freak. You're trying to take on everything, and it's not your cross to bear. So there's no need for you to worry. For what? Tomorrow's going to take care of itself. It has its own set of worries. Live in the moment, live in the now, let go of that, let him handle it, and then take that moment as you're taking a moment. And I appreciate in that moment where you're saying, like, hey, all right, God, I'm thankful I'm here, I'm thankful I'm there. But you kept going, and in the process of you continuously going, that gratitude became real. So you started someplace, even though it felt like it was like, all right, man, all right, like, so thank you for, it's almost like saying grace, kind of like, all right, Father, thank you for this food about to receive. Actually, bless it, sanctify it, purify it, nutrients for our body in Jesus' name. Jesus' name. You know what? Because you're good. And I really appreciate you for you provided this food for me. And you know what? I got an attitude of gratitude. So, Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for my meal. Thank you for my. So then it just becomes like,
Right.
oh, I felt that. Like, thank you. Like the attitude of gratitude, real life springs up. Like you said, worry might be here and it's like it's pressing your mustard seed faith down, but it's pressing it down into the dirt. However, it's gonna sprout out. So you feel like you're burying it, and you're really not burying it. Yeah, but it might be buried, but it's pushing down, but it's gonna come back out. So you're pushing me under, but I'm about to break through and watch when my faith sprouts. So I appreciate that. Like, who, girlfriend, you powerful. See, that's what I told you powerful. Ooh, I'm Did you get your 3 points?
I did.
So
I did. Yes. Listen
listen
to
to
your
your word.
anxiety.
Uh-huh.
Learn from your anxiety. Limit your anxiety.
Lemon. Ooh.
Limit it with gratitude and with prayer. I love that it says, but in everything, I think we gloss over that. I think that's one of those things we read too fast in that verse. But in everything, God wants it all, the
Yeah.
big stuff, the small stuff. He wants it all. We're good at giving him the big things. We're terrible at giving him the small things. But again, if you are a person who deals with, who suffers from, who battles anxiety, that small thing can become big
Absolutely.
very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to him. You lost your keys, give it to him. Earlier today,
Uh,
I was doing my taxes
okay.
and I needed my driver's license number.
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay, let me go get my wallet and get
Okay.
my driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to go get my wallet and I looked in my wallet and my driver's license wasn't in there and one of my credit cards not in my wallet.
No, ma'am.
And I was like, and I felt my heart
Breathe.
starting to beat
Uh-huh.
fast and I started breathing crazy. And I was like, Lord, okay, help me remember where I put it. Help me remember where I put it.
Uh-huh.
And then
Uh-huh.
help me remember. Okay, yesterday I had pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to
Backtrack.
get my food, I probably put it in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the jacket you were wearing. There they were, right in my pocket. And some people might look at that as a big or a small. It was my driver's license and credit card. So maybe not totally small, but like,
That's big. You need
but
that driver's
I'm just saying
license
like
to drive and
those
money.
everyday things,
Mm-hmm.
we forget that we can give that to God too. Like there's not some things where God is not gonna be like, hey, I got all these, but I'm gonna need you to handle those. Like that's small enough, you can handle it. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not how
Mm-hmm.
God works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He wants
Right.
it all. He
Um,
wants it all. And
mm-hmm.
he's willing to take it all. And he just wants to know us and to love us and to talk to us and to care for us
Mm-hmm.
so that we don't have to have all these cares that we have. We cast our cares on him because he cares for us, you know? So, yeah.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate you saying that. I promise you, I real life thing. I love it because it's those little foxes, those little things. Little becomes much, and so it's one of them little foxes that's the things that destroy stuff. So give him all your little worries, give him all your cares, give him it all, and put it in his hands and leave it there. That's the best hands that you can leave anything in. So I'm grateful for you sharing that. Thank you so much. Because that's absolutely amazing. That's the best hands to put any of our worry in.
Mhm.
That's the best hands to put all of our care in. Put it in his hands and we're going to give him some time. We're going to pray to him and we're going to tell him what it is that we need. And then we're going to take some moments to listen to what it is that he's having, what he has to
Yes.
say for us, because that's major. Is we'll take some time, we'll pray, oh God, I need you to do this, and God, we always got our hand out what we need him to do. Well, will we take a moment to listen to what he has to say, and then once he does speak to us, are we going to take heed to what it is that he has to say? So we'll go ahead and talk to him. After we talk to him, are we going to listen for him? And then after we listen, will we take heed to what it is that he has to say? So I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Don't you let anxiety take over you no more. I'm grateful. It sounds like you're dealing with it very well.
I am dealing with that. I tell people all the time, I'm not a finished work. None of us are going to be until
True.
that glorious day.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about, I'm like, I'm getting real churchy now. Um,
Feel free.
please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet.
Neither. Mm-hmm.
But I know that I'm a work in progress, but because I've allowed God to lead me and I've listened to him, and God speaks to me in very familiar voices, usually the voices of my mother and my father, um, and his
Okay.
word. So,
Good
um,
stuff.
you
You
know,
better hear it.
when they were like, "Hey, we think it's time for you to see a therapist again," it took
Mm-hmm.
me a minute, but I finally listened, and my therapist that I have been seeing helped me get to a place where I was doing that middle step that you said, really listening, because I would offload it, but
Yeah.
then I would just like try to avoid it and pretend like it never existed. And I didn't actually take the time to listen. And
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
my therapist would make me sit in silence,
Oh.
which I hate,
Uh-huh.
and think about what
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. My thoughts are dangerous sometimes. I don't want to think about what I'm thinking, but he made me
Mhm.
do it. And in that moment where I'm trying to think about what I'm thinking, then I'm actually listening
Yeah.
and I'm actually noticing and I'm
Yeah.
actually feeling God's presence and seeing what he has for me. So
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
still working through it, but I got the tools now and I'm going to
Okay.
use them instead of
Yeah.
trying to avoid all my problems, because that did not work out very well for me.
Mm-mm. Can't avoid it. Mm-mm. You can't avoid it. We can't hide from it. We got to work it. We got to put our hands to the plow and we got to work it out.
Yes.
I have to tell you, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. I hope every person that is listening, you are able to hear her heart. I promise you, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. You have given us an earful, and I hope that our hearts are ready to receive everything that you have said to us, because that is super. It's beneficial for us, because there's a lot of us deal with anxiety, a lot of us deal with worry, a lot of us deal with stress, and some of us don't know how to handle it, and some of us are quick to go ahead and pray, but then we're still very anxious and we're still wanting to, and what. Take a moment, take it easy, breathe. Everybody on top of the dirt is doing it. Inhale, exhale,
Mhm.
and breathe. And like you said, when you listen to it, the minute that you get the opportunity to listen to your anxiety, it's going to speak to you and it's going to tell you. But then in that moment that it's speaking to you, tell you, talk to your father in that moment.
Mhm.
And every worry, every issue, every feeling that you're feeling, talk to him about it and find out what's the actions that's behind it. I have to say, the best thing that I have been able to do is read. And then once I get into the word, that gives me so much hope for me to go ahead
Yes.
and do what it is that I need to do, so that anxiety isn't overtaking me. So I'm so grateful for you sharing that. Thank you so much. How do we get in contact with you?
I have a website,
Yes.
ToniLaShaunMusic.com. That's ToniLashaun music.com. You can find all my social media there, my YouTube channel, my music,
Uh-huh.
everything that I'm working on. There's a link to my book there, merch store, all the things, the devotionals and the books and everything are there.
Super excited. Well, we're definitely going to make sure that we put that down there in the description field. So if you didn't write it down, you'll be able to go on to the into the section, into the description section. It's definitely going to be there, because we definitely need to make sure that we're supporting our sister. Good stuff. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and I appreciate you spending your non-refundable time with me and my VIP. Join us next week, where I'll have another very important person with us at the same Hear My Heart time on the same Hear My Heart channel. Grace and peace, y'all. You ain't gonna tell the people bye?
Bye. Sorry. I was listening. I was practicing by listening. I was so into what you're saying. I was like, oh, this is so good. And I was in my own head. All right. Take two. Bye, everybody. God bless you.